How can we improve our assessments to accommodate a cooperative use of AI, whilst also acknowledging that detection software simply doesn't work, and the burying our heads in the sand approach to basically ignore the problem and then to eventually go away and students just simply won't use it is also a logical fallacy. Now, one of the key things here that I've spoken about before is the questioning technique. Now, how can we actually go about doing this? Now, different people have said about it before, where we flip the script from purely looking at the essay's outputs or the written work's output to looking at how the individual reviews it. Now, that should be an argument to say, okay, so which areas has it looked into very well? Are there areas within the argument that you think are very well done and very well placed? Are there areas that you feel might be a modicum of concern for? When you've got those areas of concern, is there any original information? Or using that type of approach where the individual is acting more as a reviewer allows them to express critical thinking. They're showing some advanced level comprehension, better literacy skills, because they're discerning that information from what the output is, and importantly, they're challenging it. That's the key thing that you want them to do. I would also argue that one of the things that we should encourage the students to do in this particular example is to draw on an original piece of information, maybe one or two pieces, which is the core focus that they've reviewed, they've analysed, and that's the base of the essay, and then they've used that as an input. It shows how the student is able to approach the problem thoughtfully, where they're able to accurately show, this is what I did well, this is the area that it's pointing to as a solution, or it hasn't expressed as much. This is why I think that, and this is why the potential biases come through from this particular platform, and what needs to be an area of revision in the future, because it then shows that the student is able to argue that case very well. Now, you can adjust that based on level of experience, based on the student's key stage or grade, and that's something that you should be encouraged to do. But this is a far better technique than simply going back to closed book assessments, which the problem with this is a lot of our in-term assessments, so the more formative assessments, are still largely the same standard exam test paper that the students just feed into ChatGPT, get the answers to generate. They get their answers generated for them. They don't actually learn anything, and as a result of this, the progress they make when they eventually get to that closed book summative assessment is likely going to see their grades sharply decline. But if you have any additional thoughts or approaches that you would take, please drop a comment. I'd love to hear it. Thank you very much for listening.